The Zone 1059.com.
All right, here we go. Welcome in on a Friday. In the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio, Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau Insurance all across the great state of Mississippi. Hometown heroes, that's your local Farm Bureau Insurance agents. I am glad to be with you today. Here in the Bureau, you can be a part of the show. I hope you will be. There's lots of ways to do that. If you're on the live stream, hey, it is live, by the way. Hey to you. I know you see logos up there, but yeah, we have a live show today. Numbers scrolling on the bottom of the screen in case you want to get on in here. That way, text or call, and I'll give you those numbers in a minute. But yeah, if you're on the live stream, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, /X, just post a comment there. You post it, I see it. We can pop it up on the screen, and you can get in here that way. I always enjoy hearing from you. Yeah, or text me on the Country Pleasing text line, 885-3776. That's the number to text, 601 number, 885-3776. Or call me on the Junction phone, Junction Delis, all across the state of Mississippi, fueled by Prince Oil Company, the number to call the Junction phone, and get on the air and let it rip, Tater Chip. 897-1059. That's the number to call. 897-1059. Almost, not quite, but almost time for a little baseball. State and LSU game one, they got it moved up. They moved it up a little bit. Because of weather. It may get bad tonight. It's like the later you go tonight, North Mississippi, the worse it's supposed to get. It's already clouding up out there. So they moved the game time up to 3. And so, like, if you listen to Neil on the radio, I don't know if he's going to have Jay or Coach Polk with him today, but if you listen to Neil on the radio, they have pregame at 2:30. Game will throw out first pitch at 3. First of a 3-game series, presumably, weather permitting. And they'll try to get that one in. Big one. You know, big series for State because, you know, they had the last 2 home weekends. They didn't win a game. Swept by Georgia at home, swept by Tennessee. Everything else is in good shape. You just got to win some home games. And so this is a big series for State. Got to play well. LSU. Hey, I did State's fight songs. Should I just be fair and play LSU's also? I mean, they don't even use fight songs in baseball, but why not? Why not? All right, so that's it. Yeah, State's. That really wasn't State's fight songs, just one of the songs they played, the Go State Go. Yeah, and so LSU's is a little different than the Hold That Tiger they play a bunch and all the other stuff they do for football. So get on in here. Full slate of games. As we get a little later, so this will mark what, 1 month remaining? The first of 4 remaining series for everybody. So 1 month of baseball in the regular season left. Then we hit the SEC tournament, conference tournaments, and then on into the NCAA tournament for those that make it. This is a big weekend. Alabama beat Tennessee last night in Knoxville, the first game of that one. They got that series started, and also Arkansas won at Missouri last night. There's no real surprise there. Those are the only 2 that have already gotten started. Game 1 between Georgia and Ole Miss, they've left it at 6:30. They didn't move it up. 6:30 p.m. scheduled in Oxford tonight. First pitch for that one. Look at some of the other series that you have coming up. Get on in here. Oh, and yeah, the draft. Did y'all watch the draft? Look, I didn't watch it, okay? I didn't say I had stuff going on. And so it was a deal where later on I was just kind of tracking the the first round, who got picked and where. And I told Annabeth this morning, we were at breakfast this morning, and I told her, I said, I don't think I recognize very many names in that first round. And she said, like what? I was like, well, the first overall pick. She goes, Mendoza? She even knows who that is. I'm like, yeah, Mendoza, that's what I'm talking about. I knew him. He goes first overall. The truth is there's a few others. Tyson, who went to the Saints, we got to see him play this year for Arizona. Well, really the last 2 years for Arizona State as they played Mississippi State. And this year that was a big part of the story in that week 2, back in the fall, that week 2 upset State beat Arizona State in Starkville, was Kelly Jones sort of announcing himself with his performance against Jordan Tyson, one-on-one, who went as a number 8 pick overall, and Kelly Jones shut him down, as he did with everybody else he played against. But Tyson's going to be a Saint. So I knew who that was. Of course, Caleb Downs. I'd seen him because didn't he start at Alabama and then transfer? And, of course, Ty Simpson. Okay, but didn't watch and didn't recognize just a whole ton of the names that were in the first round, just to be honest with you. But the observation for me, and this is not a knock it, I'm not knocking it because I've never gone there and done it. But I saw some of the pictures that people shared. Apparently the draft was in Pittsburgh. And so I saw some of the pictures of the crowd. And not just this year, but every year. I got to be honest, it's hard for me to figure out the motivation for a living, breathing human being to go to the draft. Okay, you go to the draft. You're in a big swath of people that you aren't doing anything. And in fact, what you're watching, the people aren't doing anything either. It's odd to me. It's one, when I see the pictures, it was almost like a concert venue where you have this big, pyramid of fans sort of leading up to the stage, and then there's a stage area. And I'm thinking, it's one thing if you're at a concert, right? Because you're watching these artists, these musicians, these singers do what they do, and they're really good, and the music, and you're entertained by the music. Okay, that's one thing. Or if you go to a sporting event. But going to watch, in the case of last night, 30-something guys have their name called, they walk out onto a stage and pose for a picture and then get a hug. It's odd to me. I wish somebody could explain it to me where I could understand and go, okay, now I get it. I can't understand. I really can't. There's something about my brain. It's not capable of grasping and understanding the allure of that. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know what you get out of it. I don't understand it at all. It doesn't make sense to me. I can't make it add up as to why anybody would choose to go and just stand there. Stand there and do nothing, and stand there and watch nothing. Okay, and it'd be another thing if you said, well, the only way to see it live is to be there. Well, that's obviously not the case because I'm tracking it live. I'm not even watching it. I can pull up the draft on my phone and see who's been picked. Explain it to me. I hate to say it. Okay, the draft is important as it is. And as fun as it is, if you have, let's say, a player from your team that is a threat to be a first-round pick or whatever, you want to follow that. Okay, as important as the draft is, to me, the event that is the NFL draft, to me, just seems so overrated. Let's say you went last night. What would you be saying about it? Would you come back going, oh, I had so much fun? Well, if somebody goes, well, fun doing what? How would you answer that? I just don't get it. I do not get it. I swear I don't get it. Jake from Yazoo texts the show on the Country Please and text line. He might have a good idea. He says, gents, hit some JSU for us if you could oblige. Well, we certainly can. Jake, is there a reason that you're wanting to hear it? It'll have to wait. It'll have to wait, Jake. I waited too late. Your texts coming up and some JSU Sonic Boom for Jake, just for Jake and Yazoo, who texted and asked for it. That all coming up next as we get started here today on this Friday in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau, go! With the home team back after this.
We'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. Local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up the chain or up the flagpole, the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance are in Jackson, Mississippi. It's right here in the state of Mississippi. It doesn't get more local than and personal, the service that you get with Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you haven't, recently, let them give you a quote. Home, life, auto. It's Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple. Bun size, 3 links bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Y'all like coffee? I know you do. Check it out. Little High Point Roasters from New Albany, Mississippi. That is the breakfast blend. It's a whole bean. And if you notice, that's how much I've had already. Brazil Oberon. Not Ogeron or Orgeron, you LSU. No, Brazil Oberon. That ain't all. What we got there? What flavor is that? Papua New Guinea grade AA. Bring it on. High Point Roasters, New Albany, Mississippi. Roasted right there. That's whole bean. One more. I got more. Ah, tried and true. Magnolia
1059.com.
Back with you. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau Insurance, go with the home team. All right, this for you, Jake. Firing it back up. JSU Sonic Boom. Meanwhile, Grumpy texted the show and says, Matt, Grumpy did not watch the draft, but was glad to see Ty Simpson go to the Rams. Matthew Stafford, great mentor. We've been watching, he says he's been watching David on Prime. It's really good. Yeah, the series about David from the Old Testament. I've heard good things about it. I hadn't seen it, but I've heard really good things. Somebody texted in and said that ESPN pays Mel Kiper millions to be wrong every year about who's going to get drafted and how good they'll be. I mean, right. It's true. I mean, I guess somebody's got to get up there and have adverse opinions, right? But it's got a lot of us thinking, hey, I could get up there and be wrong too. You know, pay me for that. We're talking about going and attending the draft. I just can't wrap my head around it. It's fine. I'm not even saying someone shouldn't go to the draft. All I'm saying is I can't understand it. There's some outlook or mentality that I can't grasp as to what that would lead you to go stand there and watch that. I don't know. And I mean, this is amazing. State Fan 85 says they announced last night that Pittsburgh broke a draft record of over 300,000 people in attendance. That's what I'm saying. I saw the picture. I don't doubt it. I mean, how am I going to know? It could be 100,000. They could tell me it's 300. How am I going to know? Who am I supposed to trust on that? Who's fact checking that? All I know is I saw the picture. There's a lot of people. And again, that many people, I'm thinking, what's the motivation? What do you get out of it? I wish somebody could help me. I'd like to understand it. Jake from Yazoo texts the show. He says, agree, the draft is a waste of time. He says, that's why I listen to 105.9. Y'all keep me informed. Sonic Boom for all. Crank it up. Compliments of Jake. Some Sonic Boom today. Yeah, I mean, you know, now, Jake, to be fair, I'm not sitting here reading down the list of all 32 picks last night in the first round. You know, a couple for Alabama. Let's see. One former Alabama who's at Ohio State. There's a Auburn player who was on the list, an A&M guy, receiver. LSU guy, corner. A bunch of Ohio States and Notre Dame's in there. Love the running back for Notre Dame went third. Who did we say? The joke yesterday was millions tune in to see whose career the Cleveland Browns are going to ruin this year. So the Browns took a tackle out of Utah, offensive tackle, and the receiver from A&M. The Jets took the edge rusher from Texas Tech, David Bailey. He's really good. Let's obviously number 2 overall. Yeah, like you need me to tell you he's really good, quote unquote. The Ty Simpson thing was weird. I read some about that, how people felt like Sean McVay was obviously disgusted with having to use the 13th pick to pick a backup quarterback. But whatever. And the Cowboys had the 2 picks, right? And they go defense on both of them. So, we'll see how that works out. Yeah, Somebody texted in here and said folks that go to the draft are simply nuts. Well, but think about how many of them there are. You know, it's weird to me. Okay, you have that many people. It must be entertaining. There has to be some sort of entertaining angle to it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have that many people there. And I'm standing here questioning myself, my outlook on life, the way I see things, the way I think, because I go, you couldn't pay me to go. You could say, Matt, we'll pay you $1,000. You drive to Pittsburgh, stand there for 3 hours. I'd be like, nope. I'll just find another way to try to make $1,000 here or somewhere. Not going there and standing there for that. I don't understand it. I don't get what it is. Like I said, it's different than a concert. It's different than everything else.
Exaggeration alert.
Help me.
You wouldn't take free money. Really? Like, are you being literally?
I wouldn't.
You couldn't pay me $1,000 of free money.
No, wouldn't do it. There's way too many other ways to make $1,000 without having to drive to Pittsburgh and stand in a swath of 300,000 people and waste 3 hours of my life. So no, I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying I wouldn't. That's me, and that's what I'm saying, Beaver. It has me starting to second guess the way I think, because over here on my side of this, my stance on this, to me in my head is so obvious. And then I go, well, how can it's 300,000 people. First of all, Beaver, do you think it was a legit 300,000 people there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That thing has gotten nuts.
Well, help me out.
Wait, I'm sorry. What if you were flown to Pittsburgh?
Absolutely not.
You don't have to drive.
No, absolutely not. I would more so consider it driving, not getting on a plane. No, sir.
Oh, that's right. Wait a minute. I forgot.
Yeah,
you don't like the planes.
No, I don't. No way.
What if you were magically transported?
Yeah, like Mike TV in the Wonka movie.
Yes.
He's in a million pieces floating over our head. Yeah, like if you could just press a button and be there, then I might consider it for $1,000 to go stand there.
Boom! I broke you down. You're going to the draft. You'd love to go to the draft. That's what I heard. I finally got there.
Beav, help me though. On dead serious. What am I missing on the? Oh, let's go there and watch this. I mean, you're not really watching anything happen.
Yeah, I see exactly your point, because you mentioned a concert. Now, a concert's a whole different thing. But, I want to say it'd be cool to go check it out for 30 minutes or so.
Okay, all right.
But then if I really think about it, to see anything that's going on, you have to be kind of near the front of the stage. Mm-hmm. Well, if you're near the front of the stage, you're not getting back out of that crowd of people.
That's right.
So that 30 minutes, that would take you 30 minutes just to get back through that crowd.
Yeah, that's right. In my head, Beaver, I can hear Mike Francesa on WFAN in New York on Mike and the Mad Dog those years when they'd get a prank caller, and he would always say, I mean, you got to have something else to do. I'm with you that if I was in the vicinity, Beav, it would be neat to get up on a high vantage point and look at all that, observe it for about 20 minutes and go, okay, this is what it looks like. You know what I mean? And then go home or on about my business or whatever I got going on. But I just look at it and go, I mean, you got to have something else to do. I mean, because you're not watching a concert. You're not, being entertained by music. You watch these guys get picked, and then they walk out there. There's a photo, and then they hug the commissioner. I mean, I guess there's some. Did they have music being performed live or something during the breaks or something? That I don't know.
Yeah, I did hear. I think there was a band somewhere in there, but I never actually saw them.
Yeah.
Amongst the 300,000 people.
Right. I mean, it's wild to me. I look at that many people, Beaver, and it makes me question the way I think, because I go, no, under no circumstances would I ever have any desire to do it. What's wrong with me? And I probably shouldn't think of it that way. John in Rolling Fork says, I think there's a disconnect between the average NFL fan in a large city than us in mostly rural Mississippi who follow mostly college teams. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. You know, big places, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, you know, you're in a state up there with 2 NFL teams, you know, and maybe that's what it is. Is just maybe someone like me can't quite grasp what it's like to live right up under the nose of an NFL team, and that's like your hometown deal. Maybe that's it. All right. We'll hit some headlines when we come back, plus more of your texts and your calls on this Friday, game day on the Diamond. We'll preview some of that coming up as well. I'm Matt in the Bureau. Stick around.
Jake May.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
The Junction Delis, convenience redefined, and Prince Oil Company, a match made in heaven. The Junction Deli, fueled by Prince Oil Company. Prince Oil Company has been fueling Central Mississippi since 1960s, pretty good little while. Wonderful people. Man, am I ever more tickled that they're a part of the show and I'm a part of their team now. As you know, if you listen to the radio show, I've been to the Junction in several different places around the state. I've bought gas just like you at a lot of places that are fueled by Prince Oil Company, and they are really wonderful people. By the way, that brand spanking new Junction Deli, Chevron, right across the highway from Germantown High School. It's in Canton, we say Gluckstadt. Do you realize they and other Junction Delis, they serve country-pleasing sausage over there on the buffet? They don't get much better than that. The Junction and Prince Oil Company. That's what I'm talking about. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Welcome to my photography studio downtown Tupelo. Everybody needs a headshot, especially if you're in the professional world, in sales, any sort of customer related business, outreach business, anything like that. Everybody needs a headshot. Here at my photography studio in Tupelo, we do a lot more than just headshots, but we're kind of focusing on headshots for that very reason, because everybody needs it. Let me show you a little something about it. One thing I'm able to do here is sort of have 2 to 3 different looks in a small space that we can do in a short amount of time. Several different looks and styles of lighting with studio equipment, studio lighting. Some with flash and a particular look that I've worked on, a constant lighting scenario where you sit down, the lights are already on, you lean in, and we kind of illuminate the whole face. And we get several options in the studio in a short amount of time. Here's 2 priorities for me when I shoot headshots. One is it has to look like you. Okay, none of this fake stuff. The other goal is it's got to look like you at your best. And that's my job as a photographer. And I've got a lot of experience over the years, and I feel really confident I can do that for you. I would love to schedule a session for you here at the studio in downtown Tupelo. I'm above the Reed's Gift Shop, just off of Troy Street, the corner of Troy and Spring. If you can't get to Tupelo, that's okay. Let's talk about it, because we can pack the studio up and come to you if the schedules fit and that sort of thing. I'd love to help you with your headshots. I think everybody needs them. I'm inviting you to please email me, reach out. You can go to my website, mattwyattmedia.com, email address matt@mattwyattmedia.com, and let's talk about your headshot. Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi, local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agents.
Tell him what you think right now on The Zone 105.9 and worldwide at thezone1059.com.
Back with you in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. See, like today, April the 24th, is National Bucket List Day. National Bucket List Day. And I'm, you look at all those people who were at the draft last night, and it would absolutely shock me if that many people were to say, yeah, going and watching the draft in person is on my bucket list. You see what I mean? Anyway, happy National Bucket List Day to you. Over to the phone, the Junction phone. Junction delis all across the state of Mississippi, fueled by Prince Oil Company, fueling Central Mississippi since 1960. Dog Tired in Florence on line 1. What's up, Dog Tired? Thanks for calling.
Hey, man, how you guys?
Just right.
Good. Hey, all right, let's spin this a different way. So, if they held the draft in Kansas City and they paid you to go, would that make it?
No, I don't think so.
Easier choice?
No, I don't think so. See, and this is the thing.
So,
you could say to me, Matt, a game in Kansas City, okay, and we're going to give you time off, and it's normally it's a $1,000 trip. We're going to give you half price, $500. I would absolutely consider it. Go watch a game, paying to go watch it. My deal is taking 3 hours and just stand around with people, and nothing's happening. I don't understand it. So no would be my answer on that.
Okay. My son and I were watching it last night, and we noticed there was some opposing team, elderly men, long gray beards, and we both kind of looked at each other like, my goodness, this guy is 75 years old. He hadn't had enough discipline by now to actually pay somebody to get the gate, and their faces are painted up. He's actually paying to be humiliated, and so I agree with you on some levels there. But anyway, I just thought I could sweeten the pot if you would go to the Kansas City.
See, I would.
Anyway, see you later, boss.
All right, see you, Dog Tired. Thanks for calling. And my thing is like, let's say the combine. If you could attend the combine, well, at least something's happening. It's like you watch them sprint, you watch them do something. I mean, to just watch, I don't get it. It's let's see, what would be another example of something like that? Like award shows. Many, many, many years ago, I don't know how many years ago. Gosh, 25 years ago. I was in Los Angeles, and it happened to be at the time, I think it was the Golden Globes were happening at some place. Y'all have to look it up. But I know it was some Hollywood award show like that. And so the people I was with, just for fun, it's not like we had tickets, but we went over there just to kind of get in the vicinity of where this was, where we had been told you could stand, and these limousines bringing the movie stars into this event would come riding down through there. And sometimes, you see them or whatever. And so it took like 15 minutes to get there from where we were, stood there for maybe half an hour. You see these big black limousines. Every now and then the window would roll down and somebody would wave, and nobody knew who it was. But, well, I'm sure it was somebody. We just didn't know who. And I will say some celebrity did moon us coming into the Golden Globes. Again, don't know who it was, but somebody rolled the window down as they drove by in their limousine and mooned us. Okay. But even then, like, to go, that was 25 years ago when there were still such a thing as movie stars. Okay. Stuff like that. This was, and whatever this was, I don't know, but Golden Globes, whatever does that. My thing is, even then, I remember thinking, who would go, unless you're up for one of those awards, who would want to go in there and sit through that? Unless you're kind of obligated because they're giving you an award and you're sort of obligated to get up there and be seen. Otherwise, why would you watch it? Or why would you go in there? Nothing's happening. Award shows. I don't like that stuff. So I think I'm the weird one. Denzel, thanks for sending that. It's a picture here. And he says, this is a guy who lives in Tupelo. And it's a guy who's a pro fisherman participating in some sort of pro bass tournament at Toledo Bend over in Louisiana near the Texas border. He had a 5 fish limit, 5 fish limit of 22 pounds, 10 ounces, moved him up to 8th place going into day 3 at Toledo Bend. Said, got to keep the hammer down and make a run for tomorrow. Wish me luck. His name is Chandler Howell. Chandler Howell, pro fisherman from Tupelo. Denzel says, this guy who lives in Tupelo, steadily climbing the leaderboard in a Bass Nation regional event. Man, that's great. That is great. And, look, hey, Sam Rayburn, Toledo Bend, Lake Fork, and those places this time of year, my goodness. They're great fisheries. Regarding the draft, J-Rock says, I think it's like a 3-day party for those folks, sort of like Mardi Gras. Yeah, that's the other thing. Okay, so last night was round 1, but they're going to do the same thing as far as attending it, today and tomorrow also? So it's like a Thursday through Saturday thing? That's good. Is there something to do? Jake, what's the intro? Oh, the Sonic Boom? Their fight song, Get Ready? Maybe we should. Bill texted the show. He says, I totally agree with you. Listen to what he says. There were a bunch of pot-bellied guys standing around drinking beer watching nothing. It's just to top it off, the NFL actually played the national anthem before the draft. Really? Well, okay. I'm okay with that. I don't know that I'm all for the national anthem in really any circumstance. If we got a little reverence going on for the national anthem and for the United States of America, okay, great. Whatever happened to saying the pledge? Does anybody say the Pledge of Allegiance anymore? When's the last time you said it? What happened to that? They still do it in school? I don't think they do. National Bucket List Day today. See, I bet if we could poll 1,000 sports fans from Mississippi, I bet we wouldn't find one person in that 1,000 that says on their sports bucket list is attending the draft. That's what I bet. Let's make it 5,000. Make it 5,000 sports fans from the state of Mississippi. And if you poll them, what's on your sports bucket list, I bet we don't have one person in 5,000 that has attending the NFL draft on their sports bucket list. Okay, so that's sort of driving a stake. I think I'm right about that. That's driving a stake in the ground saying, all right, here's the mark. What do you think would be the most common? If you said to 5,000 sports fans in Mississippi on National Bucket List Day, what is on your sports bucket list? what do you think would come up the most? I think it would be probably attending a Super Bowl and attending maybe the college football playoff national championship game. That's what I think you'd probably hear from most people. I might actually have the Super Bowl on mine. You know, because we're actually watching something. Something's happening. People running around, throwing, tackling, winning, losing. You got something to watch. See, I might have the Super Bowl on mine. I'll read your text, get your phone calls when we come back. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. I promise headlines next. Stick around.
After these messages, we'll be right back. Yeah. After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple, bun size, 3 links bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to my photography studio downtown Tupelo. Everybody needs a headshot, especially if you're in the professional world, in sales, any sort of customer related business, outreach business, anything like that. Everybody needs a headshot. Here at my photography studio in Tupelo, we do a lot more than just headshots, but we're kind of focusing on headshots for that very reason, because everybody needs it. Let me show you a little something about it. One thing I'm able to do here is sort of have 2 to 3 different looks in a small space that we can do in a short amount of time. Several different looks and styles of lighting with studio equipment, studio lighting. Some with flash and a particular look that I've worked on a constant lighting scenario where you sit down, the lights are already on, you lean in, and we kind of illuminate the whole face. And we get several options in the studio in a short amount of time. Here's 2 priorities for me when I shoot headshots. One is it has to look like you. Okay, none of this fake stuff. The other goal is it's got to look like you at your best. And that's my job as a photographer. And I've got a lot of experience over the years, and I feel really confident I can do that for you. I would love to schedule a session for you here at the studio in downtown Tupelo. I'm above the Reed's Gift Shop, just off of Troy Street, the corner of Troy and Spring. If you can't get to Tupelo, that's okay. Let's talk about it, because we can pack the studio up and come to you if the schedules fit and that sort of thing. I'd love to help you with your headshots. I think everybody needs them. I'm inviting you to please email me, reach out. You can go to my website, mattwhyattmedia.com, email address matt@mattwhyattmedia.com, and let's talk about your headshot.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi, local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all.
Okay, I got to clear something up. 2 things, all right, 2 points here. 1, I don't hate the draft. I don't hate it. I think it's neat. You get the players. The info is cool. You're going to watch them in those NFL uniforms, especially if you have a player from your school who may go in the first round. It's neat. I don't hate it. What I'm saying is I don't understand going to it. I can't figure out the motivation there. That's all I'm saying. The other point I was going to make and then move on from the draft attendance deal was this. So Adam Schefter reported the record 300,000 plus fans attending the draft in Pittsburgh. It broke Detroit's record from 2 years ago. Well, there's this guy named Joe Pompliano who covers sports and business for a couple different publications nationally. He put a note on this that, yeah, it's a huge number for the NFL and for Pittsburgh. But he also says this. I thought this was interesting. And so he did the research. He said it proves that the $150 million economic impact projections are made up. So apparently they said, the draft in Pitt is going to have a $150 million economic impact hosting the draft. He's saying it's made up. Here's why he says. Allegheny County, where Pittsburgh is, has only 19,000 hotel rooms, and they are at 60% occupancy last night, tonight, and tomorrow night. He says these are locals, not out-of-towners who attended it. Okay, so to whomever brought that up earlier on the text line, that sounds like that's what we're talking about, is the difference between, we're down here in the South. We don't have the NFL market where we live in Mississippi. You're in Pittsburgh. You're in a state with 2 NFL franchises, but you're a big one there in Pittsburgh right next to the stadium, right? It's local people who are, 365 days a year, rabid NFL fans because that's their neck of the woods. That's their home team. And so in and around Pittsburgh, 19,000 hotel rooms, you have 60% occupancy in the hotel. So people didn't come in there from out of town. It's just local people went, showed up. Makes sense, right? Now, here's the other thing. I'm going to pass along a list. The homecoming queen, in regards to sports bucket list, today is National Bucket List Day. I don't know if she's saying this is her sports bucket list. I guess that's the way I'm taking it, is this is her sports bucket list. Kentucky Derby, Masters, Super Bowl. See, we've done the Masters together. Super Bowl, I'd be all in on if you could go see a Super Bowl, of course. Kentucky Derby. I mean, I get it. It's not my thing, but I get it. And I do think, you know what? Back to that whole hypothetical poll. If we could, and what do you think? If you could poll 5,000 people in Mississippi, in our state, let's do 5,000. You could poll them. And we said, what's on your sports bucket list? I actually think a bunch of them would say Kentucky Derby. Like I say, me personally, I probably wouldn't, but I think a lot of people would. But definitely a lot of people. But I think probably the most common answer you're going to get is Super Bowl just about everywhere, right? Probably the most common answer you're going to get. Masters, yeah, for sure. For sure. In the Olympics, listen, Summer Olympics, once every 4 years, if I could go and watch the sprinters at the Summer Olympics, the 100, 200, 4x1 relay, I would absolutely have it on the sports bucket list to go watch that. For sure. And I'd like to see a World Series game too. regardless of teams, but it would be really neat if it was, say, let's just say like, a Red Sox or a Yankees, certainly Braves or something like that, but a Red Sox or Yankees in a park, maybe like Fenway, and watch a World Series game. Yeah, that would be on a bucket list deal. G Bama Boy on YouTube says for him, Super Bowl, Olympics 100-meter finals, and Yankees in a World Series. Yeah, I'm with you. It sounds like we're like-minded there. I'm with you on those. Okay. Somebody told us that they played the national anthem before the draft last night. And then someone else texted in on the Country Pleasing text line and says, do they play the national anthem before the combine? I don't think they do. Somebody said that on the text line, we say the pledge every day at Central Hines Academy. Man, that's great. Every morning? See, that's what I remember as a kid coming up in school. The beginning of the day, every day, you'd have a welcome and announcements over the intercom from like the principal's office, and everybody could hear it. And we'd all have to stand up, and somebody in the principal's office would lead the whole school in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. When Mary Liddy was itty bitty, just talking. She's a toddler, and she was just starting to getting going, talking, and everything. They were doing the pledge at the day school that she went to at our church, and we knew that she'd learned it. And so one night at supper at our house, a little bitty thing, she was still kind of sitting in one of not a high chair, but a taller chair than the others, because she was itty bitty. She stood up in it. We said, show us how you do the pledge. And she stood up and put her little hand over her heart, and she said her version of the pledge that she could remember. It wasn't, 100% correct on all the words, but she pretty close to it. And she got to the end, and she said, liberty, justice for all. And she went, sit down. And we got so tickled. And we realized that apparently what was going on at school was every time they said the pledge and they got to the end of it with liberty and justice for all, somebody said, sit down. And the youngin' just became to believe that that's how the Pledge of Allegiance ended, was everybody going, sit down. She really tickled us. She thought it was part of it. Kenny Don't Call Me Ken. Here he goes on National Bucket List Day. Here we go. College football championship. Springfield, Missouri mile flat track race. The Ole Miss versus LSU game this year. Why? Why, Kenny? Why on earth would you want to go to the Ole Miss and LSU game this year? He says Daytona 500, the Masters, and then the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. That's a heck of a list right there. That's a heck of a list. Yeah, the Ole Miss LSU game this year, man. It's like you're not going to be able to get a ticket for that, are you? Where is it? Will he be coming back to Oxford? I almost feel like I need to look it up, because here's what we can probably guarantee ourselves. Lane's return to Oxford, the Ole Miss folks will not treat him to the effect that Tennessee people did when he came back there, throwing golf balls and mustard bottles and stuff. Rest assured, that won't be happening in Oxford. Little more class in Oxford. Well, I feel pretty sure about that. Daytona 500 would be cool. Be neat to see. Masters, Pebble Beach. And again, just PSA, since you brought it up, the Masters, everybody puts that on their bucket list. You probably have heard this before. Prepare walking up and down hills. Television does not do justice to how hilly it is in spots. But television also does not do it justice to how beautiful the place is. J-Rock texted and said, Matt, I know your bucket list would include the 100 to 200 meter finals at the Olympics with Usain Bolt participating. Look, he's all retired and can't win anymore. You tell me he's in it, I'd like to see it. I'd like to watch him finish last. Yeah, kind of, I'm telling you, man. But really, yes, the 100, 200 meter finals at the Olympics, would love to see that in person. Hour 1 in the books, hour 2 coming up. We'll talk baseball in hour 2 because it's right around the corner. Back after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey y'all, Matt Wyatt here. Each week on the Mississippi Outdoors Podcast, we talk with the people who live it. Hunters, biologists, game wardens, local celebrities, and storytellers that know Mississippi better than anyone.
Those bass come up there and attack them. You know how mean bass can be there.
You're never going to believe this. Matt Wyatt just talked about your deer on the radio. I said, what did he say? He said, it was Photoshopped. And I said, what?
They don't know anything about hunting. They just have never had that right, that freedom.
Dude, that's us, man. That's what we do. So tune in. Be inspired, and we'll see you outdoors.
After these messages, we'll be right back. Yeah.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. Local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up the chain or up the flagpole, the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance are in Jackson, Mississippi. It's right here in the state of Mississippi. It doesn't get more local than and personal, the service that you get with Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you haven't, recently, let them give you a quote. Home, life, auto. It's Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple, bun size, 3 links, bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage. The Junction Deli's, convenience redefined, and Prince Oil Company, a match made in heaven. The Junction Deli, fueled by Prince Oil Company. Prince Oil Company has been fueling Central Mississippi since 1960. It's a pretty good little while. Wonderful people. Man, am I ever more tickled that they're a part of the show and I'm a part of their team now. As you know, if you listen to the radio show, I've been to the junction in several different places around the state. I've bought gas just like you at a lot of places that are fueled by Prince Oil Company, and they are really wonderful people. By the way,
it's Matt Wyatt with all the good stuff you need to know right here on the Zone 105.9 and worldwide at thezone1059.com.
All right, here we go. Back with you. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau, go with the home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau Insurance all across the state of Mississippi. Welcome in on this Friday. Got an hour left with you. We'll preview some baseball. State and LSU got moved up. They're going to throw out first pitch today at 3, trying to get ahead of the weather. It's going to be moving in here tonight. It'll get worse the later it gets around there. But I did notice in Oxford they kept the start time for Ole Miss and Georgia at 6:30. So, we'll see if they get it in. See what happens. Different spots, maybe through there by then for all we know. I don't know. Maybe not, but we shall see. It's also National Bucket List Day. We're talking about sports bucket lists. Craig, he sent his in on YouTube. He said Super Bowl, College Football Playoff Championship, and MSU in the College World Series would be my top 3 bucket list deals. You bring that up. Like I said, I think it'd be kind of obvious if we polled a bunch of people in Mississippi. You'd probably get Super Bowl and College Football Playoff Championship the most. The College World Series thing, though, I can just tell you, Craig, especially baseball people in Mississippi, because people here love college baseball more than really anywhere else. And it's not even, you don't even have to do per capita, but certainly per capita. Love it and support it more than anywhere else. And if you haven't had the experience yet of getting to go and be at the College World Series with your team there, it's just something that as a college baseball fan here in the state, you just got to do if you get the opportunity. You're probably going to have a good shot at least one. Is you're going to have 3 really good teams from Mississippi somebody's going to make a postseason run. So it could happen again. But yeah, that experience in 2021, I can tell you though, my first couple of days there, even outside of it being the championship, before it being the championship series that year when State wound up against Vandy, you play a 3-game series, it usually ends on a Monday. Even before that, just being out there, the venue, the town, the event, the time of year, your whole fan base, watching your team play in that environment, it is just absolutely fantastic. And just what an incredible thing. You would never have written it that way if you were doing fiction, to go State and their whole baseball fan base is going to sell that thing out and win it one year, and Ole Miss and their whole fan base is going to sell it out and go win it the next year. But that's exactly what happened. But I'm just telling you, it's one of those where ahead of time, I don't know if I would have been able to appreciate it. But going and being there and experiencing it, I really can appreciate someone who says that College World Series deal and having your team there is on their bucket list from a sports standpoint. It's incredible. Incredible event, atmosphere, everything. And the town's great. Anyway, long drive, but whatever. We were talking about Lane Kiffin coming back to Oxford this year. I said they won't treat him the way that Tennessee fans did, throwing the golf balls and mustard bottles. But somebody did text in and said if Ole Miss fans throw golf balls, it'll be Pro V1s for sure. And it's something you'd have to be a golfer to know what we're talking about there. But that's not only the more expensive golf ball, but it's like, how can we say it? It carries a certain, how can we say it? The Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls are like top of the line. Sure they are. They're also kind of like, they're what the cool kids use. You see what I mean? So that's why he said that. He also said Ole Miss folks will throw expensive bourbon bottles and Grey Poupon. Come on now. Does that even exist anymore? You know, if you're a child of the 80s and 90s, you know what Grey Poupon is because of the commercials. They're really good, effective commercials because everybody made fun of them and laughed at them. It was great advertising. But I don't even know if Grey Poupon even exists anymore. I have no idea. All right, here we go. Headlines.
Good evening. I'm Ron Burgundy, and this is what's happening in your world.
Good evening, and welcome to Eyewitness News.
Here's what's making news.
Headlines on the show brought to you by the Mortgage Man Group, powered by Illuminate Bank. The Mortgage Man Group in Mississippi, powered by Illuminate Bank. That's where you want to go. Anything mortgage related, buying, refinancing, whatever. Just start right there. Find them online at mortgagemanms.com. Round one of the draft. It's in the books. Whole world talking about it. Mendoza from Indiana, top QB, goes to the Raiders, number 1. Kid from LSU went to the Chiefs at number 6. A couple of Alabama guys went back-to-back. Proctor and Simpson, 12 and 13, to the Dolphins and the Rams, respectively. Florida's big defensive tackle went to the Vikings at 18. The Saints got the receiver at number 8 from Arizona State. So there's that. Here's a report for you golf fans. With Tiger Woods out, Jim Furyk is returning as U.S. Ryder Cup captain. '27 next year. It'll be in Ireland. Americans are going to try to get back on track against a European team that has dominated the past 3 decades. It won't stop. They'll dominate the next one. But Jim Furyk will be the captain, not Tiger Woods. And I think we all know why. And then your schedule for tonight. There are 2 SEC series that went ahead and got started last night. So they'll go through Saturday, weather permitting. And that's Alabama, Tennessee, and Arkansas, Missouri. Arkansas took game 1 from Missouri. Alabama went to Knoxville and took game 1 there. On that note, Bama and Tennessee are playing a doubleheader today to finish up the series. So they expect to have bad weather for the rest of the weekend up in the Knoxville area. So game 2 of the Alabama-Tennessee series will be, they're going to throw out first pitch in less than 30 minutes, and then they'll play tonight after that, play the third game. A lot of baseball in Tennessee tonight. As I mentioned, the State and LSU game with weather coming in tonight, they moved it up to 3 p.m. First pitch today at Dudy Noble. Georgia and Ole Miss, as far as I can see, they've kept their start time where it was, and that's 6:30. Ole Miss hosting Georgia, game 1 tonight, Swayze Field. The rest of the SEC looks like this. Florida's hosting A&M this weekend. That's tonight at 5:30. The 6 o'clock game tonight, Auburn hosting Oklahoma. Vandy's going to host Texas. And South Carolina will host Kentucky. Game 2 of that Arkansas-Missouri series, it's at Columbia, Missouri. 7 o'clock first pitch for that one tonight. That's a look around the SEC. For Southern Miss, excuse me. For Southern Miss, they're on the road, as we mentioned, at South Alabama in Mobile. And game 1 of that series tonight at 6:30. South Alabama is just a game behind Southern Miss in the Sun Belt standings. They're about 4 games difference overall. Southern Miss is 29-12. South Alabama is 25-16. But a game between them in the conference. Southern Miss 11-7 in Sun Belt play. South Alabama 10-8. Could be competitive. Well, it should be. It will be competitive, especially home series for South Alabama. And that concludes your headlines here in hour number 2. Brought to you by the Mortgage Man Group, powered by Illuminate Bank. Find them online at mortgagemanms.com. Mortgagemanms.com. So, Scott, when you texted me, what was that? What did I say, and what's that in regards to? I can't remember. Came in a minute ago. Scott texted in and said, it does still exist. Oh, okay, I got it now. I remember now. He said it does still exist, signed Hottie Toddy. Grey Poupon. Listen, I'm just going to be honest with you, okay? The only reason I know the name is because of the commercials. Those were great commercials back in the 80s. You know, a hoity-toity sort of mustard. It's mustard. Grey Poupon. Truth about it is, though, it's all, according to those of us from the woods, it's all, quote-unquote, just spicy mustard. That's all it is. That's all it is. You want regular mustard? You want some spicy mustard. Brand, I don't care what brand. Just put it on there. Hand me the hot dog. And zip it. Yeah, okay, Scott. Thank you. Well, that'll wrap up your headlines. Hour 2 just underway here today on this Friday. Let's take a look at baseball. A little preview coming up. And more. Here in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Back after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. Local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up the chain or up the flagpole, the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance are in Jackson, Mississippi. It's right here in the state of Mississippi. It doesn't get more local than and personal, the service that you get with Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you haven't, recently, let them give you a quote. Home, life, auto. That's Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple, bun size, 3 links bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Y'all like coffee? I know you do. Check it out. Little High Point Roasters from New Albany, Mississippi. That is the breakfast blend. It's whole bean. And if you notice, that's how much I've had already. Brazil Oberon. Not Orgeron or Orgeron, you LSU. No, Brazil Oberon. That ain't all. we got there? What flavor is that? Papua New Guinea grade AA. Bring it on. High Point Roasters, New Albany, Mississippi. Roasted right there. That's whole bean. One more. I got more. Ah, tried and true. Magnolia blend. High Point Roasters coffee.
Worldwide at thezone1059.com.
Back with you. On this Friday, baseball coming up tonight. Looking forward to that. No, let's see. Connor Griffin batted 8th last night in a loss. I mean, he's your everyday starter at shortstop for the Pirates. Okay, so he was in the lineup last night. Didn't have a hit. Pirates got whipped up on, got shut down. The Pirates just got shut down by Jacob deGrom. Mangum didn't play. Played the night before. He was ahead of schedule in terms of the rotation, with kind of how they're using him. Started and played 2 nights before. Pinch hit the night before. So last night they gave Jake a day off, and then it was travel overnight. And so Jake and Connor and the Pirates are playing in Milwaukee. The game is going to be a 6:40 first pitch. And it's pretty cool because Skeens is going to pitch for the Pirates, which, he's worth the price of admission. And he's up against another Mississippi guy, Brandon Woodruff, who's 2-0 this year for Milwaukee after coming back from injury. He's 2-0 with a 3.42, off to a good start. So it's Woody, Brandon Woodruff, and Paul Skeens. Brandon Woodruff from Wheeler High School here in Mississippi. Y'all know where Wheeler is? There's a bunch of you don't know where Wheeler is, but a lot to do. Yeah, it's the southern edge of Prentiss County, between Baldwin and Boonville. I'm pretty sure I had that right. I mean, I know I had the vicinity right. Yeah, that's where Brandon's from. And, of course, went to state, and he's hit it big-time talent. Did he miss all of last year or most of it? Didn't he? But back. And so, yeah, it'd be cool to watch Brandon Woodruff go against the Pirates tonight. Skeens on the other side. Expect Connor Griffin to be in the lineup. We'll see if Jake's going to play for him or not. So, matchups around the SEC, State and LSU, where do they stand? Let's take a look. It's just basic statistics. Anytime we're going to start looking at stats, let's just be reminded, they don't tell you everything. The old saying is true. It's like stats are like a bikini. They show you a lot, but not everything. Overall, this would be the entire schedule, including non-conference. Sometimes not the best measure. A bit of a difference between the two teams in terms of hitting the baseball. State is the number 2 hitting team in the SEC behind Georgia. State's team batting average at 316 coming into this weekend. Georgia's at 324. Not a lot separates them, but State's at 316, number 2 batting average in the SEC. LSU is 9th in the league, a team hitting 280. We looked at this earlier in the week, but I'll give it to you again. If you were to look at home run numbers, they're right there together. State has hit 68 home runs this year. LSU has hit 67. There's a big difference in doubles. State's got 30 more doubles than LSU does this year. And if you look at slugging percentage, because of the doubles and everything else, State's got a significant advantage there. They don't strike out nearly as much as LSU does. That's the overall in terms of hitting. Now, if you look at just against SEC pitching, it's a little closer. State, we talked about this earlier in the week, State's team average against SEC pitching they've seen is 273. That is 4th in the SEC, just a couple points behind Texas. 10 percentage points behind A&M and a few others behind Georgia. LSU is 7th in the SEC against SEC pitching, batting .253. So still State's a good, 20 points better against SEC pitchers that they've seen this year. If you want to look at it, let's just look at pitching. Again, ERA numbers, this is kind of some overall stuff. It doesn't give you a ton of details, but overall, against the entire schedule, State's pitching staff is 3rd right now in the SEC with a team ERA of 3.42. Texas is 3.41, and Auburn's at the top of the league, 3.27. State at number 3 in the SEC team ERA. LSU is near the bottom of the conference. They're 14 out of 16. Team ERA over 5. There's only 4 SEC teams with a team ERA over 5. That's Georgia, LSU, Missouri, and Vandy. Kind of surprising about Georgia because Georgia's pitching staff looked great against State the week that they were in there. Again, if you look at pitching against SEC competition, State is 3rd in the league with a 3.69 ERA. Well, actually, they're not 3rd. They're tied for 2nd with Texas. Same ERA, 3.69 against SEC hitters. LSU also in 14th place in the league in that category. Against SEC hitters, they have a team ERA of 6.16. So that's a pretty wide gap, and it just in terms of who they are. Here's the thing, though. Does it matter? That's the question. Does it matter? It doesn't always matter. We had this same conversation after State had been swept at home by Georgia and they were getting ready to host Tennessee. It was either the day before or the day of that Tennessee series starting, and I did the same kind of exercise, and I did sort of the same thing where I go, well, the statistical categories going into that Georgia series were really close on everything, hitting, pitching, fielding, everything. But there's a much larger gap across the whole season in terms of the consistency of State in those categories versus the consistency of Tennessee. And State's numbers were much better. And it didn't matter, did it? So, that's the question. Does it matter? It might not. Just got to watch them and see. You'll get pregame on the radio with Neil starts in about an hour, around 2:30, and then they'll throw out first pitch at 3 and try to stay ahead of the weather. Let's see. So here we go. We'll do some team comparisons. This is a tool. I will tell you this. Early on, I did some complaining about the new SEC Sports website. It's probably 2 years ago when they went and redid the thing, and it was clunky. And it's getting a little better and a little better. Well, they've added a new thing when you go to the statistics page in baseball over at SEC Sports, where you can do a comparison between two teams, and it's a handy little tool. Because it, like in this case, you can decide which two teams you want to compare, and then, and then look at it. And it just lines them up as a really concise way to look. SEC standings, State's 5th, LSU's 14th. In the conference, State's 10-8, LSU's 6-12. State this year is 20-6 at home. All 6 losses were the 6 most recent SEC home games. State's 20-6 at home. LSU is 3-7 on the road. Versus good teams, versus the top 25. State's 5-7. LSU's 3-9. State's won 5 in a row. LSU, they were on a losing streak till they won their last ball game. And we did some of that, comparison there. If you look at on base plus slugging, it's really, there's not a huge difference. State's at 415, LSU's at 401. Overall slugging, there is a difference. No, I'm sorry. I gave you the wrong number. On base plus slugging, there is a difference. State's at 952. LSU's at 882. What I did is on base percentage. Not a ton of difference there. State has scored 20 more runs than LSU has this year. We gave you the home run numbers. They're right there together. State at 68, LSU at 67. Pretty significant difference. But the other thing, too, is LSU has struck out a good bit more than State has this year. LSU does not run as well as State. Look at total stolen bases. State's got, 14, 15 more than LSU does this year. So statistically, there's just a lot of differences between the two teams, and it just comes down to the State get back on the horse and perform to who they are and the way they're capable. Or do they play the way they did against Georgia and Tennessee? If they do, LSU will have a chance. That's kind of the way it is. Rolling along. A little more baseball comparison coming up. Stick around.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
The Junction Deli's, convenience redefined, and Prince Oil Company, a match made in heaven. The Junction Deli, fueled by Prince Oil Company. Prince Oil Company has been fueling Central Mississippi since 1960. It's a pretty good little while. Wonderful people. Man, am I ever more tickled that they're a part of the show and I'm a part of their team now. As you know, if you listen to the radio show, I've been to the Junction in several different places around the state. I've bought gas just like you at a lot of places that are fueled by Prince Oil Company, and they are really wonderful people. By the way, that brand spanking new Junction Deli, Chevron, right across the highway from Germantown High School. It's in Canton. We say Gluckstadt. Do you realize they and other Junction Delis, they serve country pleasing sausage over there on the buffet? You don't get much better than that. The Junction and Prince Oil Company. That's what I'm talking about. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Welcome to my photography studio downtown Tupelo. Everybody needs a headshot, especially if you're in the professional world, in sales, any sort of customer related business, outreach business, anything like that. Everybody needs a headshot. Here at my photography studio in Tupelo, we do a lot more than just headshots, but we're kind of focusing on headshots for that very reason, because everybody needs it. Let me show you a little something about it. One thing I'm able to do here is sort of have 2 to 3 different looks in a small space that we can do in a short amount of time. Several different looks and styles of lighting with studio equipment, studio lighting. Some with flash and a particular look that I've worked on, a constant lighting scenario where you sit down, the lights are already on, you lean in, and we kind of illuminate the whole face. And we get several options in the studio in a short amount of time. Here's 2 priorities for me when I shoot headshots. One is it has to look like you. Okay, none of this fake stuff. The other goal is it's got to look like you at your best. And that's my job as a photographer. And I've got a lot of experience over the years, and I feel really confident I can do that for you. I would love to schedule a session for you here at the studio in downtown Tupelo. I'm above the Reed's Gift Shop, just off of Troy Street, the corner of Troy and Spring. If you can't get to Tupelo, that's okay. Let's talk about it, because we can pack the studio up and come to you if the schedules fit and that sort of thing. I'd love to help you with your headshots. I think everybody needs them. I'm inviting you to please email me, reach out. You can go to my website, mattwyattmedia.com, email address matt@mattwyattmedia.com, and let's talk about your headshot. Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi, local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road.
With Matt Wyatt right here, right now on the Zone 105.9 and worldwide at thezone1059.com.
Back with you. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau, go with the home team. They are your home team. Georgia and Ole Miss are going to have first pitch tonight at 6:30, one of the better matchups around the country. Ole Miss has been hot as a firecracker lately, and, of course, Georgia has been hot and consistent and has some big wins. They sit atop of the SEC in a couple different ways and very highly ranked, and Georgia's got it going on. So huge opportunity at home for Ole Miss. Tough road trip for Georgia. They've shown they're capable, so it ought to be really competitive, right? You look at standings in the SEC right now. Georgia's 1, Ole Miss is 6th. Their overall record really close, difference of 2 games. Ole Miss at 30-12, Georgia 32-10. In the conference, there's a difference of 3 games. Ole Miss is 10-8, Georgia's 13-5. So not a lot separates everybody. I mean, over the course of a year to get to this point, there's only 3 games separating 1-6. It just is. Yeah, everybody's really competitive and really good. It's in Oxford. Ole Miss this year at home is 24-4. Georgia on the road is 8-2. They have been good away from their stadium. Against good teams, against the top 25. Ole Miss is 9-9. Georgia's 10-6. Georgia lost their last ball game. That was in the midweek to Georgia Tech. Ole Miss won in the midweek, scored 19 runs. That was after dropping the Sunday game last week at where? Tennessee, maybe? For them, yeah. So in terms of hitting the baseball, pretty significant difference in terms of average, batting average, and the way you put it into play. Georgia as a team batting .324. That's tops in the SEC. Ole Miss is batting .270. So a good, was it 50 points difference? If you look at slugging, it's a little bit surprising there. Ole Miss is at .473. Georgia at .628. On base plus. Georgia's a 1.07. It's just ridiculous. Ole Miss is pretty good, 8.69. Home runs. Ole Miss at 69 home runs in the year. 69 home runs in the year. Georgia's hit 116 to this point. How about that? And a pretty significant difference in strikeouts. I mean, when you start to add up the number, it played about the same number of games. Strikeouts for Ole Miss this year, they're at 415. Georgia's at 327. So not quite 100 more strikeouts for Ole Miss this year, but close to it. Stolen bases are virtually the same. Pitching, I told you that's a little bit of a surprising number for Georgia, but team ERA for Georgia is at 5.02. Team ERA for Ole Miss, 3.86. The Ole Miss pitching staff has struck out more guys than Georgia's has over the course of the year, 474 to 431. Georgia has walked a bunch more guys. Georgia has walked a grand total of 56 more batters this year, and they've hit 1 more than Ole Miss has. So from a pitching standpoint, numbers all say that, Ole Miss has been better throughout the year than Georgia. From a hitting standpoint, it's clear Georgia has been not only better than Ole Miss, but they've been better than everybody else in the SEC. Hey, look, I know this is out of the blue, out of nowhere, but here's some other stuff that popped up on the wire today. I just thought you'd find it interesting. You know, Bama and Tennessee are playing baseball in Knoxville. Listen to this story. Travelers on an East Tennessee interstate were forced to brake when a truck carrying about 1 million bees crashed Friday. The swarm shut down an exit of Interstate 40 in Knoxville. That's according to the people at the Department of Transportation in Tennessee. No injuries. I-40 in Knoxville. All the bees have been moved from the area and the truck was removed. So, the story on the AP said they confirmed that all the bees had been moved from the area. The truck was removed. What you could not easily get rid of, though, were the puns. Here it is from U.S. Representative Tim Burkett on social media. So this is the buzz around town? Wah, wah, wah. Come on. 1 million bees when a truck turns over. I mean, then what do you do? And then this one. Apparently, some people are just hanging out at home. They're in California. They're just hanging out in their neighborhood. And a hot air balloon with 13 people in it had to land in their backyard. And when I say backyard, we're talking a little bitty, teeny tiny space in the back of this house. No, JS290, who says, is this related to the lab monkeys that got loose in Mississippi? No. I think totally different scenario than the bees. Can you imagine bees and monkeys loose at the same time? A balloon landed in a Southern California backyard with 13 people on board. Enormous hot air balloon, pilot, passengers in the basket. Came down on a small plot of grass at a home in California. The guy who lives there said he had no idea he had any visitors until a neighbor says, hey, man, you might want to look out your back window. He says, I was watching TV. My wife was doing yoga. There was a man standing in front of my door saying, they just landed. Now, hang on just a minute. Think about that. Watching TV, wife's doing a workout, somebody standing at your front door going, they just landed. He goes, I was very confused. But there they were, a group of anxious people suddenly relieved to be on solid ground. His backyard patch, I told you it was small, is 10 feet wide. He said it was something like out of a movie. The balloon didn't hit the house. It didn't hit the trees. It was barely touching the fence. The whole balloon in a basket landed in a 10-foot backyard. It ain't even a yard. Something that small, you can't call it a yard. It's a little bitty green space back there. So some people, a husband and a wife, they were in this balloon to celebrate their 10th wedding anniversary. And then all of a sudden the pilot says, we're just going to have to make an emergency landing. Winds shifted. They didn't have enough fuel to keep the fire going. I mean, how do you go up in a balloon? You don't have enough fuel to keep that thing going. I mean, really. Anyway, I saw that on the wire today and I'm like, hold on just a minute. First, for me, it was small airplanes and helicopters. I've sworn them all off of them. I'm never getting in one. I ain't so sure I need to be getting in those balloons either, just to be totally and completely honest with you. What did Denzel says on the Country Pleasing text line? House in Southern California with a tiny backyard. Those people probably bought it for no less than $750,000. I mean, you're about right. It's about what it's like. It's like apartments and places to live in New York. Same kind of deal. Itty bitty living space. You know, 10 times more expensive than anywhere else. Make it make sense. RT's got jokes. Said I'm sure his friends said that he's full of hot air. He didn't have enough of it. I saw the picture. Like, people took all kinds of pictures. I mean, they really are lucky. You think about it. Tell me that God isn't involved in some of the little bitty details. This thing, this big old balloon, hot air balloon, a basket full of 13. How big is a basket if you can fit 13 people in it? Drops down in a yard that's 10 foot square, doesn't hit the house, doesn't hit a tree, just right perfectly down in the spot there. Maybe the pilot was that good. Let's give him credit. Even though he should have checked to see if there was enough gas in there first. But I digress. All right. Coming up next, we'll end up the week and the show the right way. That is with some Bible questions with my friend Terry Fant from Hickory Ridge Baptist Church in Florence, Mississippi. All next in the Bureau. Back after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back. Yeah. After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple, bun size, 3 links bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to my photography studio downtown Tupelo. Everybody needs a headshot, especially if you're in the professional world, in sales, any sort of customer related business, outreach business, anything like that. Everybody needs a headshot. Here at my photography studio in Tupelo, we do a lot more than just headshots, but we're kind of focusing on headshots for that very reason, because everybody needs it. Let me show you a little something about it. One thing I'm able to do here is sort of have 2 to 3 different looks in a small space that we can do in a short amount of time. Several different looks and styles of lighting with studio equipment, studio lighting. Some with flash and a particular look that I've worked on, a constant lighting scenario where you sit down, the lights are already on, you lean in, and we kind of illuminate the whole face. And we get several options in the studio in a short amount of time. Here's 2 priorities for me when I shoot headshots. One is it has to look like you. Okay, none of this fake stuff. The other goal is it's got to look like you at your best. And that's my job as a photographer. And I've got a lot of experience over the years, and I feel really confident I can do that for you. I would love to schedule a session for you here at the studio in downtown Tupelo. I'm above the Reed's Gift Shop, just off of Troy Street, the corner of Troy and Spring. If you can't get to Tupelo, that's okay. Let's talk about it, because we can pack the studio up and come to you if the schedules fit and that sort of thing. I'd love to help you with your headshots. I think everybody needs them. I'm inviting you to please email me, reach out. You can go to my website, mattwyattmedia.com, email address matt@mattwyattmedia.com, and let's talk about your headshot.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi, local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender. Hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up.
Back with you, I'm Matt. In the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team. They are your home team. Baseball coming up pregame in a little less than an hour. And first pitch between State and LSU a little over an hour. We got a few minutes left here today with you on this Friday on this show, and so we'll end the week the right way with Bible questions and a Bible conversation with our friend Terry Fant, pastor at Hickory Ridge Baptist Church in Florence, Mississippi, home of the Eagles and home of Country Meat Packers on Highway 49 there in Florence. Terry, welcome in on this Friday. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing really well, Matt. I was thinking about the fact that over these 20 years, I've seen a lot of strange situations, pastoring, it happens.
Yeah.
But I've never had anybody come to my door and say they've landed.
I mean, can you imagine? That's what my first question would be, who landed?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Should I run?
Who is they? That's great. Yeah, me neither. Strange things every day. But Terry, let's talk a little bit. You and I were texting earlier and pondering an idea that you said one of the greatest issues impacting our society. What is that? Lead me into what you're thinking there.
Matt, I think it is the passivity of the man, the male.
Okay. Passivity of the man. And what is Scripture, how does Scripture shed light on that subject?
Okay, so we know this principle, right, that everything rises and falls on leadership. Okay?
All right.
And in the beginning, God created Adam first. God has a design and order to things, and he created a man to lead. But here's what he says in Genesis 2:15. He gave him a garden to tend, right, and a will to keep.
Okay.
So he says, then the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to tend it and to keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, of the tree of the garden you may freely eat, but the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. So Eve's not been created, but God has given him a will to follow and a garden to tend already. Okay?
Okay.
But then along comes, God says, this day he creates this, Matt, this day he creates that. And all along God's saying, it's good, it's very good.
Mm-hmm.
But then something happens and God says, it is not good for man to be alone. I got to get that kid some help, right?
Yeah.
And so he does. But then when we get over into chapter 3, we have the serpent that rolls up, or chapter 2 rather, that the serpent rolls up on Eve, and she's been created, and he's asking her questions, trying to put a little doubt in what God has said. Did God say you couldn't eat? And so you got to think about it. She's getting probably secondhand knowledge, but Adam heard it from his ear. But what happens, of course, she takes the bait, she falls, and when I was younger, man, I used to say, well, I guess that Adam was probably over in the pecans or something. There's no way he sat around and let that happen to his wife when he's supposed to be leading and protecting her. Well, you read the scripture, and it plainly says, and she took and ate and gave to her husband who was with her.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the prime example, the first example of passivity. It means to not step up and lead.
Yeah.
It means to just kind of wait and let somebody else lead, or just sit back and maybe nothing will happen. Nobody will lead.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, think about what devastation happens when men think that just doing nothing is okay.
Well,
or letting others lead our families.
Okay, and right, and so I was about to ask. That's kind of the other part of the passivity example in this scripture in Genesis. You're talking about is the fact that Adam. Not only is he going hands off and being passive, but he's allowing someone else to lead Eve. I mean, that's part of it, right?
Yeah, and here we are still struggling from it today. Now, what we don't see God telling Adam or teaching Adam that he's supposed to be a dictator or a tyrant.
Yeah.
In other words, slamming his fist down and getting his every will and desire, but that he's supposed to give his wife an example to follow and help, make those decisions.
Right.
Can you imagine what it looked like if he'd have said, "Hey, what are you doing?" "Oh, I'm talking to your wife." "Well, stop it. She belongs to me, and go and play with the giraffes."
Yeah. Right. How different things would be. Okay, and you sent me this scripture here. If we flip over to New Testament, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 16, 13, 14, those two verses in chapter 16 of 1 Corinthians. It says, "Watch, stand fast in the faith, be brave, be strong. Let all that you do be done with love." Tell me how that applies to this.
Okay, some translations like the ESV translate that "be brave" into "act like men." And that "be brave" means that we don't sit back and let things happen, but we step up, right? There's some initiative instead of passivity in stepping up. But notice what he says: watch, stand. So there's some. I'm supposed to be intentional and leading by watching. Being a watchman for my family.
Yeah.
Being careful of what they see and participate in, but also that I'm steady in my faith. And that I'm everything I do it because of love. Mm-hmm. Because of love. I don't try to dominate my wife just for the sake of, but because I love her and I want to lead them well.
So it says "be brave." Some translations say "act like men," but it implies.
Act like men.
Yeah, how about that? It implies initiative, not passivity. Then you sent me Genesis 3:17. Help me out with that and how it applies.
Okay, so think about it. In Genesis 3, he starts giving out the punishments, if you will. To the serpent, he says, you're going to crawl on your belly. To the woman, painful childbirth, desire to control her husband. But for the man, when he talks to her, he says, because you ate of the tree. But when he addresses Adam, he says, because you have heeded the voice of your wife and ate of the tree. And so what he's saying is, you were supposed to follow my lead and be the leader.
Yeah.
But instead, you weighed the two voices, and you let your wife lead. You let her lead you rather than me lead you and you lead her. Man.
Yeah, so there's we're back to that passivity being an issue. And you're saying it's an issue today in your observation.
Oh, man. So think about it, Matt. We have this great move of feminism, and equal rights for ladies is a wonderful thing. But to say that men and women are the same, and that's been kind of the push, it's a lie. We're not the same.
Yeah.
We're equal in value. We're different in function. Just look at our body designs, and goodness gracious, you don't have to be that sharp to know that we're different.
Right.
And so feminism, and then you have industrial revolution, takes daddy away from the farm, and son is being raised by mama and mostly female teachers, and you end up with guys that are passive, just sit back and let leadership happen.
Yeah.
And it's a dangerous thing. Look at our societies. It's a dangerous thing when men don't lead or don't know how to lead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and as we've said, okay, so there's Adam. He stood still and quiet while this serpent is leading his wife. And I was thinking about the application too of what about as men these days? We kind of turn our kids loose and turn them over to the world so that we can have our own time to go hunt and fish and gamble and hang out with our buddies at the golf course all weekend. We're letting somebody else lead them.
When you said that text, I was like, ooh, I was just thinking about my own life. It's happened, in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't realize it, but you're passing over the leadership to somebody else so that we can go and do what we want to do.
Yeah.
And my goodness, the situations our kids end up in because we've not let them.
Yeah. And I guess there are ways, but ultimately, like, it's hard to lead if you're not present to begin with, right? I mean,
absolutely,
that's kind of part of it.
Step one, you got to be there.
Yeah.
But we learned from Adam, you can be present and still not lead. So,
That's it.
So step one, you got to be there. Step two, you got to learn from the scriptures,
right,
and from other godly men how to lead. That's a lot of guys struggle is you just don't know how. Didn't have an example to follow.
Didn't have an example to follow. If you're listening in those verses, Terry's referencing Genesis chapter 2 and 3, and then 1 Corinthians chapter 16, if you want to read that for yourself. Really good stuff. Terry, thank you so much for some time on this Friday, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Matt, thank you. And for the guys listening out there, this isn't a beat down session. It's a call you up kind of session.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Call you up. Thanks, Terry.
See you soon.
See you soon. A call you up session. Be present and lead. Do it all in love. That's what the Bible says. Good stuff. Have a great weekend. See y'all Monday. See ya.